A place at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-finals is the prize. Manchester United get the game underway in their famous red shirts, playing from right to left in the first half. And they've won both of the previous two meetings in the FA Cup, including the final back in 1963, and also a fifth-round tie at the old Filbert Street back in 1976, when United went all the way to Wembley and were knocked out by Southampton in the final. Matt Holland is alongside me for this one, and it's interesting to see how a much-changed United team really coped with the Leicester side, who in recent times have had a good deal of continuity.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they changed their formation a little bit, Leicester. They went to a back three and they've gone with Iheanacho and Vardy up top, and it worked well against Sheffield United. That's something that Man United will have to deal with. As for United, they've freshened it up, and I think that's important. 5 changes from that win in midweek in the Europa League. Just to get some fresh legs on the pitch, and it's a big game for certain individuals. I think Van der Beek in particular, and he struggled to impose himself in this United lineup. Of course, he's got a lot of competition, and Bruno Fernandes has been outstanding for United. But he really has to try and take the games by the scruff of the neck when he gets the chance.
Here is Pogba. He's looking for Martial. Van der Beek. Here is Martial. Support from Tellez on the overlap, but the pass was slightly behind him. Martial once again. Now Pogba. Already looking to pull the strings. Greenwood. Wan-Bissaka. Fred. Wan-Bissaka continues, but he runs into Perez. Quickly won back though by Matic. Matic was looking for Tellez, but Leicester worked very hard when out of possession. Iheanacho was the target of that ball forward, but Matic was there to redeem his original error. Tellez was the player who was bowled over, and Craig Pawson, our referee, has given the free kick.
I think when we watch United, they do tend to gravitate, and most of their attacks do come down the left-hand side. Tellez is in for Luke Shaw today, and Rashford's not available. Pogba on that side. Martial playing up top. He likes to drift out to the left as well. And most of United's attacks do come down the left.
Southampton, Manchester City and Chelsea are already into the semi-finals. The draw takes place at half-time in this game, so very soon both these sides will know their potential opponents at Wembley. Tellez. Now Maguire, his transfer from Leicester to Manchester United was a world record for a defender. And Johnny Evans, the former United central defender. Iheanacho was caught by Tellez, and it will be a free kick to Leicester. Five goals in 3 games for Kelechi Iheanacho, and as a former Manchester City player, he has personal motivation today as Perez pokes it on for Vardy, looking for Iheanacho, and his hot streak almost continued there, but it was a terrific covering challenge from Alex Tellez.
I think the flag might have gone up belatedly. Vardy always on the shoulder. I think he was offside. As soon as it was played, Harry Maguire looked to the linesman and he was hoping for the flag. It didn't come. It's excellent covering from Tellez, but Maguire was right. He was a couple of yards offside.
Tellez again. And in his early weeks at Manchester United, he looked to be much more comfortable going forward as Leicester are looking for the free kick. So he has continued. Here is Perez. Soyuncu. And indeed, he will eventually play the ball out of play.
Heavy touch, wasn't it, from Martial? Tried to rectify it, lunged in and did catch Tielemans.
And every time a Leicester City player crumples to the turf at the moment, there's an intake of breath in the technical area. They've had such bad luck with injuries recently.
Missing key players, aren't they? Maddison, Barnes out, Ricardo now as well. James Justin, who's been excellent this season.
word from Craig Pawson. It was, in many ways, a typical FA Cup challenge. Tellez will take the throw-in. United unbeaten in their previous 29 domestic games, a run stretching all the way back to January of last year when Liverpool beat them by 2-0. Martial tumbles under the challenge of Fofana. Now Perez and Didi. And he sidesteps Pogba. Tielemans. All Brighton. And Tielemans again, and it's beyond both Iheanacho and Albrighton.
Not quite got going yet, Leicester. Slow start to the game from them.
And Leicester aside looking to reach their first semi-finals since 1982. And their previous semi-final victory was a bizarre game when they beat Shrewsbury Town by 5-2 at Filbert Street. Gary Lineker was on the score sheet, and due to an early injury to their goalkeeper Mark Wallington, 3 different players were involved in goal for Leicester that day. Of course, there were no backup keepers in those days, only one player on the bench, and somehow Leicester made it through to the semi-finals, where they were beaten by Spurs. You ever played in goal?
I have, actually, yeah. Went in goal for about a 10-15 minute spell for Ipswich against Oxford. Managed to concede one. It was quite an eventful game. Went in goal, let one in, came back on pitch, scored, then gave a penalty away. Did win 5-2 though.
Sounds a very similar sort of game to the victory for Leicester the last time they got through this stage. The previous 3 quarter-finals have all been lost to Chelsea, including here last season when Ross Barkley scored the only goal. Pogba spraying the ball around once again. Here is Wan-Bissaka. So Unchu, I think, was looking to shepherd the ball behind, but quickly realised that Fred was all over him.
Next step for this man is to win a trophy. Certainly think he's improved United.
Unchu, interesting ball. Brighton though will just about keep it in, using his old winger speed there, playing as a right back today. Both these sides have already met here in the Premier League. It was a 2-2 draw at the end of December. Very entertaining game, which was ultimately settled by a late own goal from Alex Tuanzebe, who was on the bench for United here today. Rashford and Bruno Fernandes were both on the score sheet. Harvey Barnes, who was out injured, also scored a cracking goal that day for Leicester. Leicester have beaten Manchester United only once in the last 25 meetings, and that was a bizarre 5-3 win here back in September of 2014.
I seem to remember Angel Di Maria scoring a wonder goal that day.
Yeah, United were 3-1 up, and then they collapsed in the second half, and that was a Leicester team who were recently returned to the Premier League and somehow survived that season with a great escape. Jamie Vardy was on the score sheet that day. Kasper Schmeichel was also involved. Vardy has just had to play a slightly different role in recent times. Of course, everything has gone through him for so long at Leicester City, but only 1 goal in 15 games. But he's not a player who shirks the challenge. Tielemans. Soyuncu. Fred will get there before Perez. Lindelof. Van der Beek. Wan-Bissaka. Firm challenge from Soyuncu on Greenwood.
I think even there, Van der Beek just needs to be a bit more positive. Get on the half turn, look to play forward. I think he's trying to play safe, he's trying to keep the ball. But he needs to do more than that, especially if he's going to play in that number 10 role.
He started only 2 Premier League games since arriving from Ajax, where he was very highly prized. Here is Iheanacho. He's looking to turn to the left and possibly bring Vardy into the game, but smuggled back towards Henderson.
He's quickly becoming United's number 1.
There was always so much discussion about if and when David De Gea may be displaced, but it's almost happened and under the radar, hasn't it, in many ways?
Well, David De Gea went back to Spain. His wife was pregnant and giving birth, and since then, Dean Henderson's done nothing wrong and deserves his place in the team.
Matic, that's a good ball. Wan-Bissaka, Martial coming short. Now looks to wriggle his way towards the byline, and he's closed down by Soyuncu at the expense of the game's first corner.
I think it's United that have had the better of the opening exchanges. They've probably had a bit more of the ball. Leicester do carry a threat on the counter, of course, but he's been heavily involved. Paul Pogba trying to get on the ball.
And of course, we must have a winner here today with extra time and penalties if necessary. And that's been the way all the way through the FA Cup this season. Tellez will take the corner. Maguire is one of the targets, and he's won the header, but it was comfortable for Schmeichel.
I don't think Harry Maguire probably scores as many goals as he should do. He often gets that first contact from corners. It's a difficult one really for him to generate the power needed to beat Schmeichel on that occasion.
Iheanacho has been very mobile in the channels for Leicester so far. Tielemans. Soyuncu once again. Fofana has lost out. Martial looking to use his pace. He had Van der Beek in support, but he's lost out quickly to Ndidi. But now Soyuncu played himself into trouble. And that rather frenetic spell of play has been brought to an end by Leicester and Johnny Evans. Soyuncu. Fofana. Such is the wealth of talent available to the French system as Iheanacho chases a long ball forward. It's gathered by Henderson.
Good position from the goalkeeper. Out on the edge of his box.
Well, Wesley Fofana is in the French under-21 squad for the upcoming European Championships. I'm sure he'd be in many senior teams right across Europe.
He's been outstanding this season. Johnny Evans likewise. It's funny actually, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying United should never have sold him.
Leicester's recruitment has been very good. They very rarely sign a player who doesn't make an impact. Castagna was the target of that ball there. He's been somebody else who was just slotted in. They've given Brendan Rodgers something different.
Still plenty to play for him. This competition and trying to finish in the top 4, I think, is going to be really important to them. Trying to qualify for the Champions League through their league position.
I'm sure that Leicester have targets overall every season. Last season probably was to finish in a European place. Of course, they were eventually pipped by teams like Manchester United in the top four, but you would imagine that this season finishing in a Champions League place was the objective.
Yeah, I think so, and well placed to do it as well. Still competition for that because Chelsea have come strong, West Ham going well.
Van der Beek finding Evans, now Albrighton, Tielemans. Iheanacho has done well there to move himself clear of Fred, and he was looking for that ball in behind for Vardy, and that's a very familiar ball for Leicester City.
He was tracked well actually by Victor Lindelof, who I think has been in good form of late. I think he's been really consistent. He's kept Eric Bailly at bay. I think Solskjaer trusts him alongside Maguire.
Van der Beek, of course, starting today, but Bruno Fernandes is the go-to man for Manchester United in that sort of position in so many of their games. Now Perez, Vardy, Iheanacho waits in the centre. It's back towards Vardy. Henderson has to make the save, and it's scrambled away by Matic.
He keeps drifting to that left-hand side, Jamie Vardy, trying to get in that channel between Wan-Bissaka and Lindelof. Wan-Bissaka high up the pitch on this occasion and gets the ball. He's actually trying to deliver the cross into the box for his strike partner. Comes back nicely for him.
Down you're finding Perez, now Tielemans. Fofana. And Leicester just beginning to enjoy more possession inside United territory now.
Yeah, good spell. But United started brightly. Leicester coming back into it.
Maguire rising above Iheanacho. Brighton back to Fofana. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer making 5 changes from the side, which beat Milan in the Europa League. Marcus Rashford unavailable due to injury, but he is hopeful of joining up with the England squad for the upcoming international break. Mason Greenwood continuing in the starting lineup. And now it's been won back quickly by Leicester. Here is Vardy into the penalty area. He had options left and right, and in the end the shot was blocked by Maguire. Van der Beek. Martial. And he can't go beyond Fofana.
Good defending from Fofana. Opened up nicely for Leicester at the other end. Work defensively from Harry Maguire. He's just been caught in possession. A couple of times too many for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's liking.
Lindelof. Greenwood. Maguire finding Pogba, who was just on the half turn, which gives him the opportunity to bring Telles into the game quickly.
He keeps drifting into the middle, actually. Pogba doesn't want to stay out wide, does he? He wants to get involved, get on the ball. Important, therefore, that Telles does get forward down the left.
Pogba once again. Telles was off and running, but Pogba going shorter to Matic, and the flick doesn't quite come off. Now Fofana. Could there be an issue that United have tried to cram too many number 10s into the side today?
Well, it's difficult. I mean, I think he wants to get minutes into the legs of Pogba, and obviously for Van der Beek as well. He's played every game actually in the FA Cup. He started every game. He wants to get him back involved as well, because he's had a little niggle as well and been out, so they need minutes. It's a perfect opportunity to rest Bruno Fernandes. Marcus Rashford as well has played a lot of football this season. He's just working out the best position really for Paul Pogba. The way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sets his team up, it looks like he likes two more defensive-minded midfield players. It's been Fred and McTominay for the bigger games. Therefore, with Bruno Fernandes in that number 10 position, Paul Pogba's, to get in the side, has to play on the left really.
Matic.
Or the right.
Greenwood's over on the far side at the start of this game as Albrighton goes down. Alex Tellez with the challenge.
Trailing arm just wrapped around him.
It should be an interesting tussle between Albrighton and Tellez, because Tellez is somebody who loves to get forward at every opportunity, and Albrighton has the experience to possibly exploit that. Soyuncu. Matic. Now Pogba. Tielemans initially, and he also shrugs off Iheanacho. Pogba's lost his boot. He slaps the turf as he doesn't get the free kick. Iheanacho quickly fighting Albrighton. Tellez going to ground unnecessarily. And in the end, Albrighton's cross is deflected behind for a corner by Maguire.
It's not great defending from Tellez. Diving in, Maguire coming to his rescue. United still arguing they should have had a free kick. It did look like one. Iheanacho was clumsy, bundling through the back of Pogba and caught his boot, which eventually flew off. That looked a foul to me.
But Leicester have their first corner. Albrighton will take it. Short to Iheanacho. Now Tielemans. Leicester scored their winning goal in the previous round, right at the end against Brighton from a short corner. They've been much better at set pieces recently after a long time in which they really failed to make the most of them. Soyuncu. Ndidi. Now Vardy. Ndidi finding Fofana. Leicester just beginning to take a grip on possession in midfield as Iheanacho tries to find Perez, but it's cut out in the end by Henderson.
In fact, there's not a lot in the game, I think. Fairly even start. There's no real great pace to it either. Both sides happy just to have periods of possession. There's James Maddison, who's been excellent this season.
Well, that's an opportunity for Iheanacho, and a defensive shambles for Manchester United allows Kelechi Iheanacho to continue his hot goal-scoring streak. Well, that was a gift.
Yeah, it's a shocker from Fred. He said that United have given the ball away too cheaply, and particularly in that midfield area. Trying to play out from the back. And Fred just leaves his goalkeeper short. Nacho reads it brilliantly, rounds the goalkeeper, composed finish, but United guilty of giving a cheap goal away.
Fred with no peripheral vision whatsoever there.
Such a mix-up. He's hoping the goalkeeper's going to come onto it, but he didn't put enough pace on the ball back to him.
Iheanacho with his 6th goal in just over 3 games, tied up with ribbons by Fred. And he maintains his excellent goal-scoring record in the FA Cup. It's his 12th goal and his 18th tie. As Matt Holland correctly surmised, there was nothing in the game until that moment. And he's seen his side fall behind on so many occasions away from home this season, but they usually win.
Well, they usually find a way to come back into the game. But it's a horrendous error. Take nothing away from Iheanacho. He's the man in form. Hat-trick against Sheffield United last week, and he was the quickest to react. And once he got into the position, he didn't panic.
Maguire with the back pass. Henderson allows it to run. And Iheanacho's recent goal-scoring burst really began in the previous round when he scored right at the end against Brighton. Long time to go in this one. But Fred won't be feeling great about things at the moment. Maguire. Now Pogba. Alex Telles. Looking for Greenwood. So Unchu did just enough. Wan-Bissaka. Greenwood once again. Fred's cross. And Schmeichel in the end has to turn the ball aside.
It's a really dangerous ball in. Aimed towards the goalkeeper. Any sort of a touch makes it difficult for Schmeichel. He's anticipating a touch, but no one gets there. In the end, he just palms it away. It might have been off target anyway.
Alex Telles will take his 2nd corner. And the game's suddenly coming to life. And it's deep from Telles, and once again Maguire was on the end of it, but off target on this occasion.
Again, he gets the first contact. Perhaps that Leicester goal has stung United into action. And here it is. Maguire potentially could have gone longer. Fred could have done it first time. Could have put a bit more pace on the ball back to Henderson. But it's an excellent finish.
Too sure what sort of clarification Fred could have given to Harry Maguire there in the aftermath. Fofana. Now Tielemans. Castagna. Ndidi. Leicester really growing in confidence in this game following the goal, although they were just beginning to take a grip on the game before the goal. Vardy. Wan-Bissaka has Matic in support. It's an excellent ball forward, looking to exploit the pace of Greenwood. Evans coming across, and once again that's very accomplished defending.
Read it well. He's the middle of that back three for Leicester today. The one that's slightly deeper.
Pogba. He tried to find Martial, but it was Fofana who did just enough, and now Iheanacho managing to isolate Maguire in the wide area, and Maguire stands his ground, and the free kick's been given, and Andre Mariner is reaching for the first yellow card.
This is the benefit of the split strikers for Leicester there. isolating the centre halves in wider positions and aren't comfortable facing up 1v1 situations like that.
Maguire did rather more than stand his ground with that outstretched arm.
And the ball might have got past him, the man wasn't as well.
Maguire will have to manage that yellow card for the remaining hour of the game. Brighton is over the free kick. Soyuncu will be one of the targets. But it's short in the end. Tielemans, and it was blocked by Fred. Now Van der Beek, the Dutchman with a Cruyff turn, but rather worked his way into a cul-de-sac and he's given the ball away. This time Maguire steps in before Iheanacho. Wan-Bissaka. Iheanacho's record when starting FA Cup ties is superb. 10 goals in 11 games. He had a good goal-scoring record in this competition for Manchester City. At times at Leicester, he's used the FA Cup to actually get time on the field.
And such has been his form, though. He's starting to play more regularly. Took advantage of a real mix-up at the back for United.
Soyuncu. For Schmeichel. Nobody in the Leicester starting lineup has won the FA Cup, but Schmeichel's dad won a few with United. Now Tielemans. Soyuncu. Finding Fofana once again, and there's a real corridor of opportunity for Leicester on this near side. They're right.
Taking control, Leicester. Passing the ball around with confidence. I'd say that United aren't getting tight enough to them.
Soyuncu. Now Vardy. Stanley just runs out of room, but at the moment Manchester United second best in this game.
Yeah, Leicester were just starting to get in control before the first goal. And now they're passing it nicely. United need a reaction.
Been given away by United once again. Here is Iheanacho, and he almost found Vardy. Wan-Bissaka with a crucial intervention.
Well, it's superb from Wan-Bissaka, because he's filled the hole that Lindelof left. Lindelof went on a run into midfield, gave the ball away, and then there was space. Wan-Bissaka was quick to get across and shut that space.
Tielemans. Fofana. Soyuncu once again, and he's another player who's been given the room to try and get forward for Leicester in the wide areas. Fofana. Back initially by Pogba, and this doesn't look good for Paul Pogba at all. Look of concern on the face of his manager.
Well, he won the ball back. And it looks like it's just a stamp on the top of the foot. That's exactly what it is. Just studied across his ankle. He should be okay with that. I think the worry was that he twisted it.
Well, he was only recently back from injury. And it's been such a stop-start season for him in many ways, but the flip side of that is when it comes to the European Championships, he may have a bit more in the tank.
What's been a really tough season. Very congested, loads of games. United have had a really tough spell themselves. A couple of games against Milan in the Europa League, West Ham, Man City. A tough period. Games coming thick and fast.
Maguire has been penalised once again for the challenge on Iheanacho. He'll need to be careful on that yellow card.
They've isolated the centre-halves brilliantly. Leicester. Vardy's playing on Lindelof and Iheanacho on Maguire.
Tillemans does well to work it wide to Albrighton despite the attentions of Van der Beek. Fofana. Zonchu. The fiery deflection finds Evans. Looking for Perez once again. Lindelof will guide it back to Henderson, and this time there is no playing out from the back.
No chances taken that time. Plenty for them to think about though. They're getting outnumbered in the middle of the pitch.
Michael Carrick on the right there, and here is Pogba. Now Tellez, Martial shaping for the header, but no clear-cut contact from him. Wan-Bissaka. Tellez. Pogba shrugs off Fofana initially, and the cross will find Van der Beek. He leaves it, and the equaliser is dispatched by Mason Greenwood. First real moment of quality for Manchester United, and it's the youngster who comes up with such a crucial goal.
He was due one, Mason Greenwood. I think his performances have been pretty good recently, but he hasn't been able to get himself onto the score sheet regularly. It's superb work from Paul Pogba to spin, get the cross in, the awareness of Van der Beek to know what's behind him as well. And then Mason Greenwood is clinical, coming from that right wing position into the middle of the goal, and smashes it past Kasper Schmeichel to get United back into it. It's a well-worked goal.
And it comes considerably against the run of play, but that's often the way that Manchester United have played away from home this season.
They've got individual quality. And Paul Pogba stepped up. Brilliant skill to get himself away from Fofana.
Greenwood's first goal since scoring against Liverpool in the 4th round back on the 24th of January. Leicester may be rocked back by that because they were heading towards half-time in control. Now Tillemans. Albrighton was waiting, and Tellez just happy to lift the header into a safer area. Only Greenwood's 5th goal of the season, of course. He was scoring for fun during the restart during last summer. And the pressure there from Castagna, forcing Wan-Bissaka into the challenge, but it's a goal kick in the end.
lazy, wasn't he? He was only at the last minute he became aware of Castagna. Got away with it.
Matic has been caught. Van der Beek's role in that goal shouldn't be overlooked as well. If he's looking for something to build his confidence, that will help. Fred.
Yeah, he won't get the assist for it, but it was clever play.
Wan-Bissaka. Evans with the clearance. Martial looking to be underneath it. Here is Fred. Now Greenwood once again, and Pogba went for precision, and it's comfortable for Schmeichel.
He didn't catch it anywhere near as cleanly as he'd like to have done. Intention to try and bend it, start it outside the post and try and work it back, but didn't get it clean in, straight at the goalkeeper.
Now Vardy. Albrighton. Cross in. Maybe just guided away by Lindelof. Andre Mariner has given the corner. Two corners apiece. It's often never entirely straightforward for Manchester United away from home, but they usually find a way. 29 games without defeat domestically. Of course, they were beaten in the Champions League by Leipzig, crucially in Germany earlier during the campaign, which knocked them out on match day 6. Corner met by Van der Beek. Tielemans, power from him once again. Now he looks for Soyuncu. Hooked away by Telles. Iheanacho. Fred again looking to play the ball out, almost gave the ball away in a dangerous area.
It was interesting, that corner. Still looking to try and land it on top of the goalkeeper. They've got loads of bodies around Henderson.
Evans. Greenwood. Put up by Castagna. Tielemans. Sold indeed, he's short, but he's done well to go beyond Matic. Quickly forward looking for Iheanacho, but overhit on this occasion.
He had a little glance as well at the assistant just to make sure he was onside.
It's been given away by Wan-Bissaka. Castagna. The cross is some way beyond all the blue shirts in the end, but United have been sloppy at times.
Yeah, they have. There's a combination of United being sloppy in possession and also the pressure from Leicester. They're trying to squeeze United higher up the pitch.
Pogba. There's Albrighton. Now Perez. Perez's effort is just wide. Well, he had Albrighton in support. He was not tracked into the penalty area, but Jose Perez maybe believed he was entitled to have a go from there.
He's been quiet, Jose Perez. Hasn't impacted the game as much as he would like to have done. Drifting in from that left-hand side, he gets a sighter on goal. I think he was claiming a little touch from Matic, but it was always drifting wide of that post.
Will be disappointed his side have given up a position of supremacy in this game. Telles will take the throw in beyond Pogba, but here it's Fred. His error cancelled out by Mason Greenwood. Martial. Blocked by Fofana. Now Wan-Bissaka. They will There'll be a minimum of 2 more minutes. Lindelof. Teles again was looking for the expansive ball, which is cut out by Castagna, and Leicester looking to counter-attack once again. Vardy asking too much of Castagna this time. Matic. It's behind Pogba, straight to Albrighton. And it's been a very scrappy end to the half from United. One back though by Alex Teles. Here is their goal scorer, Mason Greenwood. Martial.
Yeah, I think at times 1 or 2 players having too many touches. Instead of doing things quickly, 1-2 touch and moving the ball, dwelling on it.
Lindelof. In terms of shots on goal, Dean Henderson hasn't had too much to deal with.
Well, neither keeper has really, have they? It's predictably tight in the Premier League, again second in the Premier League. I think we anticipated it'd be close, this one. Hasn't been a lot in the game.
That is half-time. It's been a match which has been quite attritional in the main, but a number of talking points. Kelechi Iheanacho with the opening goal for Leicester following an awful back pass from Fred. That was a real gift, but Manchester United pulled level by Mason Greenwood, finishing off a fine move involving Paul Pogba and Donny van der Beek. At half-time, it is Leicester City 1, Manchester United 1. Leicester City get the second half underway. 1-1 here at the King Power Stadium. The Foxes in all blue, playing from right to left. And we must have a winner here today with extra time and penalties if required. Leicester made rather short work of 2 sides from the Championship, Stoke City and Brentford in the early rounds, before their late winner against Brighton in round 5. Manchester United have had 1 or 2 bumps in the road. Had to really work hard to see off both Watford and West Ham by a 0-0, and there was that terrific tie against Liverpool, which they won 3-2.
They need to play better than they did in the first half. I think they were a bit slow really in that first period, didn't move the ball quick enough. I still feel a bit aggrieved that they didn't go in at half-time leading. They've been the better side.
Soyuncu. The Leicester goal coming from an error, but United's equaliser was wonderfully made. Soyuncu has been given the time to find Castagna. Vardy waits at the far post, but the cross is gathered by Henderson.
He's done that a lot actually, Soyuncu, today. He's allowed to get forward from that left centre-half position.
It's a real hallmark of Brendan Rodgers' sides to have that fluidity. He gives players confidence to move the ball around and also take up positions which can create opportunities. It's why they've been so successful over the past couple of years. Maguire. Saka unable to keep the ball in play, and it's been a feature of this game so far that while United have looked good at moving forward at times, they've also given up possession in dangerous areas as David De Gea looks on. Ndidi, one of those characteristic bursts from him, but once again, at the near post, Henderson was secure. Here is Van der Beek. Two sides here today who are very adept at counter-attacking. Lindelof. Now Maguire. United looking to reach their 31st FA Cup semi-final. That would be a new record, taking them clear of Arsenal, who are the only club who have won the cup more than them. Brendan Rodgers looking for his first major silverware in England. Came so close with Liverpool to winning the Premier League title. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won the lot with Manchester United as a player, looking for his first trophy as a manager. Back at Old Trafford. Now Perez. Nutmeg on Van der Beek. He went down, but no free kick given by Andre Mariner, and now Ndidi cuts down Fred, and United do get the decision.
It was all action, Wilfred Ndidi. A player coveted by a number of clubs in the Premier League and around the world, I'm sure.
He is a player who was given time at Leicester, wasn't an instant sensation, but they were patient with him and he benefited from that.
He's a very key player for them. Great energy.
Now Castagna. Closed down by Van der Beek. Edinson Cavani is on a star-studded Manchester United bench today, back after injury. There is Cavani, Amad Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, Daniel James. All available if required. Scott McTominay, who's been the match winner in 2 of the 3 rounds that United have played so far, is also there. Fofana. Iheanacho. Tielemans. Iheanacho is able to gather ahead of Maguire. And Ndidi. Castagna providing the width. Just held up by Wan-Bissaka initially. The challenge came in from Greenwood, but Leicester keep moving here. Fofana. Now Evans once again. Söyüncü. United having to do plenty of chasing at the start of the second half.
The defensive record has been good for United of late.
Here is Tielemans. Vardy on the shoulder of Lindelof, but Tielemans goes for goal. And that's another terrific strike from Youri Tielemans. Leicester City ahead once again. And that goal was a real trademark of a Brendan Rodgers side.
I was about to say that United's defensive record has been pretty good of late, but they haven't looked as secure today. Iheanacho has given Maguire all sorts of problems. He drags Maguire out of position again. There's a big gap that appears for Tielemans, and he's allowed to travel and travel before he gets his shot away. And he finds that bottom corner superbly. Henderson on the stretch, can't get there. It's not great defending from United. Tielemans allowed to travel a long way without being opposed.
Very similar to the goal he scored against Arsenal recently in the Premier League. And if you don't close him down, he will do you damage. And a player who could be a real star for Belgium in the upcoming European Championships has put Leicester City in sight of the semi-finals once again.
United might have to go to that bench quicker and sooner than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would like to have done. It's an excellent finish from Tielemans. He's had another terrific year. But it's really poor from a United point of view. I felt at times they've not got tight enough in midfield, and he was just allowed to roam through the middle of the pitch before getting his shot away.
Perez. Now Vardy. Just behind Castagna. Maguire. Martial. Telles. Both Albrighton and Fofana for company. Telles really at his best when he's given open ground to run into, and Leicester have done a very good job of ensuring that's not really happened so far. Fofana. It's a United throw, and Bruno Fernandes is already warming up. Ndidi. Soyuncu. It was well read by Alex Telles.
Here's the goal again. He plays a lovely 1-2 round Matic, and he's away. Fred doesn't get across. Lindelof backs off. Allowed to travel a long way. You see Lindelof, the run of Vardy attracts him. It just opens up.
Tielemans is still really a young player, 23 years of age, but it feels as though he's been around for some time. He was part of a very young Monaco side under Thierry Henry a couple of years ago. He wasn't considered a huge signing when he arrived at Leicester City, but he's been one of the stars in the Premier League over the past couple of seasons.
So consistent and able to play anywhere in that midfield. He's a genuine box-to-box midfielder. Can do all aspects of the game.
He seems to play every single week as well. At the moment, with Leicester's injury problems, he has to. Pogba. Now Greenwood. Fred could open up for the shot, but he was closed down by Ndidi. Telles appeals for handball. Andre Mariner agrees.
He got a bit of help from his assistant. I think he saw that initially.
Very clear cut for Mark Albrighton. We'll see the replay. Alex Telles is over the free kick. For a target, but Soyuncu got there first. United do have the corner, and I wonder, in the back of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's mind, is how long can Paul Pogba last in this game?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be careful with him. You won't want him injured again.
Outswinger from Telles this time. Soyuncu getting there before Maguire. Albrighton. He's given the ball away to Greenwood. Skating into the penalty area beyond Fofana. Soyuncu, and then Ndidi acrobatically with the clearance. Now Alex Telles, he goes for goal, and it whistles some way wide.
He's a bit better from United. Mason Greenwood, I think, has been probably United's best performer today. He's been one of the few that's been right on their game. Catches that really sweetly. Alex Telles. For what it was close.
Player who was the Portuguese Cup winner with Porto last season. At the moment, heading out here with Manchester United at the quarter-final stage. United, of course, were knocked out in the semi-finals by Chelsea last summer. Here is Vardy, released by Iheanacho, in between Maguire, and he puts it wide. What a chance for Jamie Vardy, and that could have sealed Leicester's place in the semi-finals.
United have not played well. Giving the ball away again, it's Greenwood this time. And this would have put the seal on it. I'm sure that would have been the end of it. Not sure United had come back. His goal-scoring record hasn't been great of late, and he snatches at the chance and pulls it wide. He knows it's a glorious opportunity to fire Leicester into the semi-finals.
He won in 15 games, which came here in the win against Liverpool. And that was due to a defensive mix-up. You would expect Jamie Vardy to bury that sort of opportunity. But he's not scored in the FA Cup for nearly 3 years, although he's not played too many ties in that time. Matic. Cut out by Evans, now Tielemans. Iheanacho. Leicester playing the game at their own tempo at the moment. Castagna.
Comfortable, aren't they? Moving it nicely. He's struggling to get a grip of the game.
Iheanacho. There's a real poise about Leicester at the moment. We often see this when they're at their best under Brendan Rodgers. Rodgers has lost 11 of his 14 meetings with Manchester United, but ahead here today.
I don't think it belonged before there's changes for United.
Vardy again. The nutmeg on Lindelof this time. You have Castagna in support. Now Perez. United really rocking here. And Ndidi. Albrighton. The cross looking for Vardy. And defended well by Lindelof. Maguire's clearance. Here is Pogba. And now Tielemans doesn't get hold of it this time.
It can't continue like this. It's one-way traffic. Leicester looking likely to extend the lead, and United get back in it. What a chance that was for Jamie Vardy.
I'm sure it won't be too long until we see the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Edinson Cavani, but if United aren't careful, it could be a lost cause by the time they come on. Schmeichel's clearance. Now for Fana. Perez. Vardy and Iheanacho ahead of him. But Perez goes himself again. And it's over the top, but Leicester continually have Manchester United backpedaling here.
Another great big hole in the midfield. Wan-Bissaka dropping off, Lindelof backing off. It's only until he gets, what, within 25 yards of goal before anyone tries to confront him.
Van de Beek. Leicester with 10 attempts on goal now. Double the number that Manchester United have managed as Martial is taken down, and it will be a free kick awarded by Andre Mariner.
They've looked far more threatening, Leicester, going forward. Decent run from Martial, just catches the hip of Johnny Evans.
Martial has been a peripheral figure at times. Manchester United are about to make 4 changes. Shaw, Bruno Fernandes, Scott McTominay and Edinson Cavani.
That tells you everything you need to know about what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thinks about what he's seen so far.
Alex Telles over the free kick. Maguire at the far post, but it's beyond him and Pogba and everybody else. Well, there are very few players in the United side who have earned the right to stay on, in all honesty. Matic is the first player to come off. Then it's Paul Pogba, which was anticipated due to his lack of fitness. Pogba, of course, setting up the equalising goal. Van de Beek and Telles are the 2 other players who have come off. So Shaw will slot in at left back. Bruno Fernandes will be in behind Martial. And Cavani will also be offering that threat in attack.
Yeah, he'll go up top. I presume Martial will go out to the left-hand side. He hasn't done it again though, Donny van de Beek. Oh, he contributed to that first goal with the way he left it for Mason Greenwood, but he hasn't imposed himself on the game again.
But he's not been alone in that. In the Manchester United side, Paul Pogba, of course, is somebody maybe with a slight mitigation due to his lack of football in recent times. And Van de Beek, who used to play for Ajax, would really dominate games. Now Martial, Greenwood, McTominay. The cross was deflected off Soyuncu. And United have a corner with 25 minutes to play.
He's been a regular goal scorer this season, Scott McTominay. He's got himself forward from midfield. Not something that Matic or Fred do particularly well, but he makes good runs, gets up in support of his strikers, gets himself into the box.
Bruno Fernandes with the corner. Met by Maguire, but Albrighton will clear. Greenwood. Confirmation of the changes at the top of your picture as the cross-in is again deflected, but this time gathered by Schmeichel. Bruno Fernandes scored the winning goal against Liverpool in the 4th round.
See, I think Donny van de Beek just needs to watch Bruno Fernandes, the way he dominates, wants the ball.
McTominay has lost out to Perez. Tielemans. Good covering though by Fred this time. Bruno Fernandes characteristically demanding the ball, and here is Greenwood. Wan-Bissaka in support. Fred. Shaw. The crossing is over the head of Greenwood. It'll come out to Wan-Bissaka. Now McTominay helped on towards Greenwood again. Wan-Bissaka, and it hits Cavani. And the final touch was off Soyuncu. It's another corner.
Well, already the impetus in the attack now from United. Bodies in the box, getting numbers forward. Look at Wan-Bissaka's position.
And Leicester suddenly find themselves on the back foot. Bruno Fernandes with the corner. Here is Shaw. Flicked on by McTominay, and it's routine for Schmeichel this time. Iheanacho. He's held up by Wan-Bissaka, but Leicester may just be content to try and play on the counter-attack now. Jamie Vardy maybe mulling over that chance he had to seal it. 6 of Leicester's 7 Premier League defeats have come here. And they're aiming to avoid a 3rd cup exit at home this season after Slavia Prague recently ended their run in the Europa League, and earlier this season Arsenal beat them in the League Cup.
Brighton's just about to get a yellow card, I think, for kicking the ball away. Perez clips his ankles, but just after that, Brighton smashes the ball away.
McTominay. Confirmation of that booking for Mark Albrighton. Dennis Pratt is currently in conversation with Brendan Rodgers inside the Leicester technical area. Bruno Fernandes. Cavani. Shaw. Fred. Wan-Bissaka. It's targeted up by Söyüncü. We're set up here for a fascinating final 20 minutes or so as Iheanacho takes it down superbly. Looks for Vardy, but this time he's muscled off it by Maguire.
The game's so stretched, and Leicester are a threat on the counter. You can afford to leave those 2 up top, because United are throwing bodies forward. There's going to be space on the counter for Leicester.
Iheanacho is penalised this time. There was a fantastic piece of skill there to take that ball down out of the sky. Maguire. McTominay. Bruno Fernandes is found by Fred, and there suddenly seem to be more possibilities here for Manchester United. Bruno's cross in, and Johnny Evans on the stretch sends it behind for another corner.
He's demanding the ball, Bruno Fernandes. He's getting on it, finding space. He's always looking to play forward and play a killer pass.
Inside the final 20 minutes. Bruno Fernandes with the delivery. This time it's Ndidi who heads the ball away. Wan-Bissaka was steaming forward for the quick throw-in. Dramatic sky and a dramatic game unfolding here in front of us. McTominay. Now Greenwood. Söyüncü coming in from behind, and he won the ball.
It was a dangerous challenge. He had to go through Mason Greenwood to get to the ball.
Tielemans. Now Albrighton. Lindelof was aware that Iheanacho was in the vicinity.
He's been United's sharpest player though, Mason Greenwood, right from the off.
It was an indication of the fairly desperate situation Manchester United were in that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer chose to make 4 changes at once. Now McTominay is penalised for bundling over Ayoze Perez. It's a yellow card for him as well.
And slightly over-eager to get the ball back for his team. Didn't get anywhere near the ball.
If United lose this game, any realistic hope of domestic silverware will have gone for another season. They'll have to concentrate on the Europa League. They face Granada in the quarter-finals. Dennis Pratt will replace Ayoze Perez. He's not played the Belgian international since damaging his hamstring in the 3rd round victory at Stoke City in early January. Has been selected for the Belgian squad for the upcoming international break. And Leicester will be very pleased to see him back.
Yep, and with a couple of weeks now with the international break, it might be that Maddison's not too far away as well. Crucial stage of the season.
Leicester will be without James Justin for the rest of the campaign, and Harvey Barnes may also face a race against time to get fit potentially for England and the European Championships. Bruno Fernandes. Now Shaw. Cavani makes the run to the near post, and the final ricochet there was off Shaw.
And just delay putting the ball into the box. Trying to wait for United to get bodies in the area. Far more attacking though since they made the changes, United.
United have won 12 of their last 15 away ties in the FA Cup. Where they were beaten in quarter-final games at both Chelsea and Wolverhampton Wanderers, and there could be another defeat upcoming here in the Midlands at the King Power Stadium. Wan-Bissaka. Greenwood. Shaw. And Maguire. He was given the room to let fly, but it was always heading wide.
Yeah, that's ambitious. That's a long way out as well from Harry Maguire. He's allowed to come forward, but still a good 35 yards out.
Long from Schmeichel this time. Wan-Bissaka. McTominay. Bruno Fernandes. He was caught there, and there will be a yellow card for Johnny Evans.
Can't have too many arguments. He's late. I think he just slips, doesn't he? That's why he makes contact with Bruno Fernandes.
McTominay. The yellow cards are racking up for both sides in the second half.
Leicester have dropped right off now. United have the ball deep.
Now they're giving the ball away. Vardy unable to spring the counter-attack this time. Bruno Fernandes. United with 3/4 of the ball in the last 10 minutes since they made those changes. But they still trail. Greenwood coming back to win the ball, and now United look to spring the attack themselves, but it was a poor ball forward from Fred. Here is Fofana. Albrighton. And Didi. Castagna. Pratt. Tried to wiggle beyond McTominay on 2 or 3 occasions before eventually drawing the free kick.
That's good play from Pratt. Gets his team up the pitch. And for a period where United have had a lot of the ball. No rush to take it either. Trying to see out this last 13 plus a bit of injury time.
United in a 7th successive quarter-final, but at the moment their FA Cup run is ending here. Albrighton over the free kick. Flighted in beyond Henderson and headed in by Iheanacho. And Leicester City are surely heading heading towards their first FA Cup semi-final since 1982. Once again, another goal which was very poorly defended by Manchester United.
It was, that should be it. Iheanacho at the double. He just goes in unmarked at the far post. Tomlin's the closest to him, but it's allowed to drift all the way through the box. Nobody gets tight, but Tommy doesn't win the header. Difficult one for Henderson. It comes at him so close. Man who's in rich scoring form right now. Looks like he's going to see Leicester through to the semi-finals.
Well, James Maddison, quick to celebrate. He may be anticipating a return to fitness in time for the semi-finals. For Bruno Fernandes, the route towards a trophy for Manchester United could be ending here. We have 11 minutes in which to score 2 goals and force extra time.
We've seen some famous comebacks from United. This will be up there.
Well, the most recent victory for Leicester against United saw the Foxes come from 3-1 down to win 5-3, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team have really shot themselves in the foot at times with the manner of their defending.
Well, they're up against a front pair who've been in good form. And Vardy perhaps not so in front of goal, but he's assisted his teammate up top, Iheanacho, who has been in sparkling goal-scoring form.
Well, it's now 9 goals in 9 games for Kelechi Iheanacho. But from a United point of view, it was a good delivery, great delivery from Albrighton, but somebody's got to attack it.
Someone's got to get tight to Iheanacho at the far post. I mean, there's no one within 3 or 4 yards of him. But Tommy's the one that went to get the ball, but he's the nearest to Iheanacho as well. If he gets tight to Iheanacho, he deals with it.
And Chowdhury will be on shortly to try and help Leicester see this one through. Unless we have a remarkable comeback, it will be Leicester against Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final, and both clubs would regard that as a wonderful opportunity. Can United produce one of their famous comebacks here? At the moment, doesn't look likely. There were better signs for them when they made that host of changes, but once again defensively they've simply not been good enough. Wan-Bissaka, and their 14-month run of 29 games without defeat away from home domestically is also on the verge of coming to an end. Bruno Fernandes, given away by Greenwood. Seunchu. And in terms of clear-cut chances, either side of the changes, Matt, Leicester have had far more.
Yeah, they have. They still have a threat on the counter with those 2 up top. United are committing bodies forward. They're trying to get back into the game. Leicester, when they turn possession over, they've got options when they go forward. That might change now.
Jamie Vardy, the player who was coming off. And Chowdhury is a perennial replacement at times like this for Leicester City. They're a club who have reached the most FA Cup finals without ever winning the trophy. Runners up 4 times, but We are heading towards the semi-finals here for the first time in 39 years.
He can smile, Jamie Vardy. His team 3-1 up. He knows he had a glorious chance to get on the score sheet himself, and he has to drag it wide.
And it's credit to Brendan Rodgers and the players around Jamie Vardy that even though the goals have dried up for him, they are still finding a way.
Well,
Iheanacho's finding a way.
Simple as that. He's been superb, hasn't he? It's the goal again. And it's allowed to travel a long way. McTominay has to do better. He has to get his head on this. And if he doesn't get his head on it, then he has to get tighter to Iheanacho. And that was an easy header from him.
And when we look at replays like that, Fofana shepherds the ball behind. We're trying to see whose run was blocked off, who couldn't get there. In that case, nobody.
No, exactly. And he was just allowed to travel a long way. And he's at the far post with nobody near him. And he's in great goal-scoring form.
Fred is now making his way off. As Manchester United play their final card. Ahmad has come on to replace him. A young player who scored a spectacular goal against Milan in the Europa League at Old Trafford recently in the 1-1 draw. 18-year-old Ivorian signed from Atalanta.
We've got the attackers on the pitch now to do it, United. Greenwood, Cavani, Martial, Ahmad, Bruno.
There's Ahmad. But he's lost out Iheanacho, Tielemans. Leicester don't have the pace of Vardy in behind now, but for Brighton will look for Iheanacho, looking for a second successive hat-trick, but he was offside this time.
As is customary, they wait until they become active before putting the flag up.
Liverpool were the last side to beat Manchester United away from home. January 2020, 29 games. That run is 5 minutes away from being consigned to the history books. Evans does well to avoid the corner. Bruno Fernandes. Shaw. Now McTominay. Leicester is so quick to get bodies around the ball. Their football is very pleasing on the eye, but it's underpinned by a real work ethic as United get the free kick.
The incentive was there at half-time when the draw was made. Avoided Chelsea and Man City. It was Southampton in the semi-final. It's Leicester that have taken advantage of that.
Wan-Bissaka. McTominay. Ahmad. Now Maguire. He was caught by Chowdhury. I think he was determined to fire a shot on goal, but in the end he was happy to wait for the free kick.
And he waited, Andre Mariner. The first one was the foul there. He tried to give the advantage to Harry Maguire, but it wasn't forthcoming.
Well, if there is to be a comeback, this needs to go in. Kasper Schmeichel has not really been tested since half-time. Bruno Fernandes will strike this, and this time Schmeichel is tested. That's an excellent save.
He's not had a lot to do, Kasper Schmeichel. I'll tell you what, this is at the top draw. This looks like it's won its way in the top corner.
Bruno Fernandes picks out Chowdhury at the near post. Now Greenwood has lost out. Pratt. Shaw is back to cover. Victor Lindelof is just beginning to hobble around, and United have made all of their changes. Leicester with more attempts on goal, more on target. Castagna and Didi. And Tielemans. Once again, they play their way out of trouble very stylishly.
And I don't think even the most avid of United fans could argue that Leicester deserved this today. I think over the course of the game, they've been the better side.
Tielemans. Loose from Ndidi, but he's done well to find Castagna. These two sides will meet again in the Premier League. On the 11th of May, which could be a key game in the race for the top four. 2 or 3 games before the end of the season. Chowdhury. We are into the 90th minute. And what has been a very dispiriting day for Manchester United, but Leicester City deserve all of the credit for that. They've been the beneficiaries of some very poor defending at times, but their very expansive outlook has helped to create that pressure. Here is Iheanacho once again. He's ridden the challenge of both Maguire and then McTominay before Maguire intervenes. Soyuncu. They've just been better.
They have been better. But United have tried to respond. They've made all the changes. And since making the changes, they've been better. United, they've improved. But over the course, I think Leicester have deserved it. Been a bit sharper, a bit more intent about their play. I'm sure the goodness Solskjaer won't want to make excuses, but it's been a hectic schedule for them. And they have looked a bit tired, haven't they?
They're in England indicating there will be a minimum of 4 more minutes. Victorious in Milan, but humbled in Leicester looks to be the story this week for Manchester United as McTominay gets the free kick. Bruno Fernandes. Wan-Bissaka. Bruno Fernandes again, and pass from Wan-Bissaka is behind Ahmad, and Kelechi Iheanacho has been a real pest for Manchester United throughout the day. Deserved his 2 goals.
No doubt. Pick up the man of the match award. Right from the off, he isolated himself up against Harry Maguire.
And another opportunity to win a trophy slips by for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. All in for the Europa League now. Shaw. Greenwood. He's looking for Martial, and he did well to win the header, and it was a sharp save from Schmeichel in the end.
Yeah, not a lot of pace on the cross, so it's difficult for Martial to get the necessary power. He hangs in the air, probably off target anyway.
United will be focusing on the road to Gdansk in Europe, but it's all about the road to Wembley for Leicester. Iheanacho conceding the free kick. Bruno Fernandes. Castagna just getting the touch. Chowdhury by Lindelof. McTominay. I can't remember United giving the ball away on so many occasions as they have done today recently.
And actually, some of the times, not even under any real pressure either. You know, Tommy's in acres of space there.
Now Tielemans. Castagna. Leicester moving into the semi-finals at a time when they are without two of their most creative players, James Maddison and Harvey Barnes. Ricardo Pereira, also somebody they really missed in their slide out of the top four at the end of last season. He's not playing today, and if they can get a couple of those bigger names fit for the semi-final, they will really look to relish the occasion. Maguire. And it's another turnover. Pratt almost found Iheanacho. Bruno Fernandes. Cavani. McTominay. Ahmad. And it's all over. Leicester City are into the FA Cup semi-finals for the first time in 39 years.